from overwork. They may be working hard, but they may not be doing all the jobs a business requires. The basic jobs of a business. In the third book of the Rich Dad series, Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, the BI triangle is introduced. The B and I refer to the business and investor quadrants of the cash flow quadrant. Rich Dad said to me, if you are going to be an entrepreneur or an investor, fully understanding the BI triangle is essential to your success. As a teenager, I did not really believe or appreciate Rich Dad's respect for the importance of the BI triangle. Today, I do. A great new product. Many times, individuals will say, I have an idea for a great new product. As you can tell from the BI triangle, the product is only the tip of the iceberg. Job descriptions for a successful business. You can think of the different aspects of a business as job descriptions. To be successful, the business needs someone with the skills to fulfill each of those functions. Starting with the product level, you will see the list of jobs required to bring the product to market. In simple terms, product, legal systems, communications, and cash flow are technically all the elements required for a business to function successfully. If one or more of these elements is missing or is being done poorly, the business will struggle and often will fail. When my poor dad's ice cream business began to fail, it was not because it was not selling a good ice cream product. In fact, it was a great ice cream product. In my opinion, the reason the business failed was that my dad was not a good sales or marketing person. He was a great communicator as a speaker, yet he failed to fill the job description known as communications. Taking my poor dad's ice cream lesson a little further, my dad did not realize that sales and marketing involve more than simply running advertising or being able to sell an extra scoop of ice cream to a customer. His problems began when he thought the brand of ice cream was all he needed for success. His problems began when he rented a cheap location in a remote shopping mall. His ice cream shop was located in an obscure corner of a so-so shopping mall. That meant he did not have foot traffic or car traffic passing in front of his shop. No one knew where his ice cream shop was. He thought the brand of the ice cream was strong enough to pull customers in. His business began failing before there even was a business. He almost made it. In retrospect, he did well when it came to choosing a good product. The legal work for the franchise was also done well. The system for making the ice cream was excellent. The franchisor made sure there was a good accounting package as part of the business, so the cash flow component was covered. There just wasn't enough cash to count. So my dad did a good job in covering 4 out of the 5 elements. He almost made it. Where my dad did a poor job was at the communications level of the BI triangle. He did not fully understand the intricacies of sales and marketing. When sales did not happen, the whole business began to fail. Instead of cutting his losses and purchasing a better location immediately, my dad did what many people do when sales decline and cash becomes tight. He cut back on staff. He cut back on advertising. He went cheaper instead of spending more money. When he did spend money, he spent it on legal bills, blaming the franchisor for his problem. Few things are a bigger waste of money than a lawsuit. Yet, that is what happens when people blame rather than learn. Instead of looking at his own actions and taking personal responsibility for the mistake, my dad insisted he was right. Eventually, he went broke. There is a poem that describes people who are willing to die being right. It goes, "Here lies the body of Justin Gray. He died defending his right of way. He is right, his case is strong, but he's as dead as if he were wrong." Every time I see people taking their sweet time in a crosswalk, expecting all cars to stop as they cross a busy street, I think of this poem. When I meet people who need to be right, who habitually blame other people when things go wrong, who would rather argue than listen, who know all the answers, or who think they are the center of the universe, I think of this poem. I also repeat this poem to myself whenever I become Justin Gray. The Triangle of Financial Success. The BI triangle applies to more than just the B and I quadrants. For example, if an employee is a receptionist for a business, a well-answered phone is the product of the job. In my opinion, the receptionist has one of the most important jobs in the company. If the receptionist does their job well, the company actually runs smoother. If the receptionist delivers a bad product, for example, by being rude over the phone, then their value to the company goes down. The receptionist should be counseled, retrained, or terminated. I am sure we have all experienced a rude receptionist at one time or another. The receptionist also has legal rights. If the company violates those rights, the receptionist can take action. The receptionist is an essential part of the entire business system. At home, the receptionist may be the leader of a system known as a home and a family. If life at home is happy, then chances are that the receptionist does a better job at work. If the systems at home are breaking down, such as no heat, no water, leaky roof, or problem family members, the failing systems at home may affect the systems at work. Since the receptionist is an integral link in the communication of a business, if he or she has poor communication skills, once again, the entire business system suffers. Retraining or removal is essential. If the receptionist has loving communications at home, this reflects in the receptionist's life. If communications at home are abusive, it can greatly affect the job performance of the receptionist. Managing cash flow at home is very important. If the receptionist spends too much money, this not only affects life at home, but may also affect the receptionist's attitude at work. The number one reason for arguments in a marriage is money. Sadly, many divorces are caused by problems in the cash flow of the family. An entrepreneur's homework. Before quitting their jobs, entrepreneurs should do their homework. That means making sure that the BI Triangle's 5 components for their new business are covered. 1. Product. 2. Legal. 3. Systems. 4. Communications. 5. Cash flow. If the entrepreneur is weak in covering just one of the 5 elements, the business may fail, struggle financially, or fail to grow. That is why the lesson in the first chapter is, a successful business is created before there is a business. A simple checklist. A business is far more complex than this overly simplified list of 5 jobs. Nonetheless, this simple list has served me well over the years. I often use these 5 jobs as a checklist. Whenever a business begins to struggle, this list of 5 jobs can help analyze and identify where the problem or problems may lie. I have an idea for a new product. Whenever someone says, I have an idea for a new product, this simple checklist can be used to bring some reality to what may be required to bring the product to market. In most instances, the wannabe entrepreneurs give up on their idea because they are not willing to do their homework. They soon realize why a new product is just the tip of the iceberg, or in this case, the tip of the BI triangle. Why they give up. One reason why so many wannabe entrepreneurs give up is that they start to realize they are only trained for one out of the 5 levels. For example, a creative artist may only be formally trained at product design. An attorney may only be formally trained for the legal level of a business. An engineer may be formally trained for products or systems, but not the other levels. A person with a sales and marketing degree may only be trained for the communications level. And an accountant may only be prepared for the cash flow level. When wannabe entrepreneurs look at the 5 levels, they often realize they have more homework to do before their hot new product makes them rich. Self-employed professionals. Highly educated professional people often have a higher rate of success because their education often prepares them for more than one element. For example, consider an attorney's business in terms of the BI triangle. Product. The attorney is the product. You hire attorneys for the services they have been trained to perform. Legal. Attorneys are licensed, which protects them from non-licensed competitors. Generally, agreements are in place defining the rights and duties of the members of the law firm and their relative compensations. In addition, most lawyers enter into engagement agreements, letters, to define their relationship with their clients. Systems. Lawyers are trained to establish business systems for performing services and for invoicing and collecting payment for those services. Systems for leveraging the expertise of more experienced attorneys are tried and true within the legal profession. For example, to provide for efficient and cost-effective legal research, less experienced